I was last here when on the 30th of July 1997, and this is when the very terrible Threadbow disaster actually happened, when Stuart Diver was buried alive when this shack crashed onto the skier shack, and Stuart Diver was buried alive for about 5 or 6 days in late July, early August of 1997. And I haven't been back here to Jindabyne ever since. But I'm just showing you the hills now all around Jindabyne, that there's a terrible bushfire, happening somewhere, and it's very, very smoky at the moment. Smoke everywhere here at the moment, where I am. This is on the 19th of April 2007, where I'm taking this, and Lake Jindabyne down there is very, very low. And there's a terrible drought at the moment. It's terrible at the moment, really. See, why the reasons why is there no water here in Lake Jindabyne? It's because of the result of sin and evil that is portraying this world today. Like I said 35 years ago, that 1973, when I grew up as a kid, this will be the last generation, that this generation will never see future generations if mankind never changed and never realised that the things that happened in the 1960s, when we came into the last generation, that I was the last generation of children that grew up in the 1970s. And my grandmother Morrison, warned us the way this generation was happening at the time would never see the end of the 1970s, and there will be no child who will ever have a future. But now you can see the evidence, that God is punishing this nation and punishing the world because of sin. And like I'm saying, if we run out of this precious stuff called water, how is the human mankind, if he doesn't realise and turn to God and repent from his sins, how is he going to ever survive? And it's like I said 35 years ago, back in 1972-73. It's a miracle today. And every recording that I've done, the last time that I was here, on the 1st of July 1997, when that disaster happened, here, up the Threadbow Resort, when Stuart Diver was buried alive and survived, come out after 5 days. But it's very sad to see this country the way it is, that like this island just over here, that has never ever been seen before, and it just shows you that Lake Jindabyne is in the lowest that it's ever been in the history, of white settlement. And we're starting to see things now that we might not see before the very big Christian revival that God was sent to this country in the last days. I'm just doing this recording for the Neil Kenneth 30 Years of Interviews and Recording show, coming directly, from Lake Jindabyne on the 19th of April, 2007. Tomorrow will be my 45th birthday. And to show you the evidence, the bushfire smoke and everything that's happening here. This is Neil Kenneth speaking, coming live from Jindabyne.